Hello everybody, it is Michael here from My Retirement Trading, and today I'm going to talk about my real life experience with having over $200,000 in QQQI and SPYI by NEOS funds. And I'm going to show my real life experience with no NAV erosion so far. But before I get into this, I must state that none of this is financial advice or a recommendation, and it is for entertainment purposes only. So let's get into it. Well, the first thing that I wanted to talk about in the thumbnail, I have this, it says no NAV erosion. And I haven't experienced any NAV erosion personally with these funds. So in my IRA, for example, this QQQI, I got in it on 1/31/2025, and my cost basis was $61,745.21. And now it's worth $70,889.40. So if you take that, let's see, 70,889.40 minus 61. I'm up 9,000, a little over $9,000 on that, 91.44.19. And let's see where I'm at on my cost basis. Looks like I'm up 14.8% in total return year to date. Well, since I've been investing in it, a 131.25. So maybe in about 10 months, something like that, I'm up 14.8. We could even double check it just to make sure, but yep, 14.81%. And I've had it a little bit longer in the cash account. So my original cost basis was 73,184.86, and it's worth $86,234.85 now. So we'll do the same test. So I'm up 17.83% total return. And this is when I first bought it, 6/11/24. But I added to it several times along the way. But the point of this is to prove that I haven't experienced any NAV erosion so far. And on this account, my average cost is $50.10 a share, and it's worth $54.10 now. And that's with all the dividends reinvested. And I've got 1,310 shares in my IRA and 1,593 in my cash account for a total of 2,903 shares of QQQI. And the SPYI by NEOS, I got a cost basis of 36,604.73, and now it's worth 43,726. So we can do that experiment. It looks like I'm up $7,100 in that, but I've been in it for a while. 6/11/24. So June 11, 2024. And let's see if we divide that by my cost basis. I'm actually up more on that one. So let's see. Looks like I'm up 19.45% on that one. And I don't really remember if I added to that several times or if I bought it all at once. But anyway, this one's based on the NASDAQ 100 and this one's based on the S&P 500. So the QQQI is on the NASDAQ 100 and the SPYI is on the S&P 500. So I just wanted to prove that part on the NAV erosion. And my original cost on this was, on the SPYI, was $50.24, and now it's worth $52.67 as of this video. So I thought that would be interesting to share with everybody. So that's not clickbait as far as on my personal experience. I've had no NAV erosion with these, even through the ups and downs. And recently, it's been a little bit of a red market. So anyway, I just wanted to prove that. And then we go over to, well, actually, one more thing I wanted to say. We'll add all these up. So the 70,889.40 plus the 86,234.85 plus the 43,726.53. That gives me a total of $200,850.78. And these NEOS funds right here, the QQQI and the SPYI. And I'm a big fan of these products at this point in time. And I do have some of their BTCI, which you can see I'm down a little bit on. But if you added that into it, I've got over $212,000 wrapped up in these NEOS funds. So I thought that'd be interesting to share with everybody. So if I go over to the NEOS website, and it's neosfunds.com, and I go to the SPYI part, it shows that it's a monthly payer, and the expense ratio is 0.68%, and a distribution rate of 12.16%. And so, and if you go to the holdings, NVIDIA is number one in it, followed by Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Broadcom, Alphabet, Meta, Alphabet again, Tesla, and Berkshire Hathaway. So it looks like they buy the actual stocks themselves in this fund. That's what it looks like to me anyway. And then we'll go back to my my spreadsheet. And I've got a couple of them because I ran out of space, but you can see on that amount of money, I did sell a little off at one time, maybe a couple hundred shares, but in recent times on that batch that I have, which is 838 shares, I've been getting about $400, a little over 400 a month, 420.97, 432.93, and let's go to this other one. And recently I got a 437.16. So if we go the 437.16, and if you were to multiply that by 12, since it's a monthly payer, that would be $5,245.92 on my cost basis of $36,604.73. So if we were to divide that, since I got in at a lower price, it looks like my distribution rate on my cost basis is about, on that particular payment, is 14.33%. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then if you go by the rule of 72, which I always talk about, you take that 72 and divide it by the 14.33, and it'll take about 5 years to double that money if it was to maintain this. And I reinvested the distribution. So I thought that would be neat to share with everybody. And then we go to the QQQI part of the neosfunds.com. And the first thing that comes up is ETF Awards QQQI NEOS NASDAQ 100 High Income ETF Best New Active ETF. And it's the winner of that award. So I thought that was pretty cool. And if you go over here to this page, the QQQI says it pays monthly and it's got an expense ratio of 0.68 and a distribution rate of 14.31%. And let's see the holdings, if we can find them. So there's some overlap with the SPYI, but like the number one in this one is NVIDIA, followed by Apple, Microsoft, Broadcom, Amazon, Alphabet, Tesla, Alphabet again, Meta, and Netflix. So this is more tech oriented. And if we go by, it says it had a distribution rate of, let's see, 14.31. So if we go back over to my spreadsheet here, and if you go, it showed my payment of on my cash account of $1,015.39. So if we take that, and that's on original investment of $73,184.86. And this is a monthly payer. So if we were to take that payment and multiply it by 12, since it pays, that's $12,000 a year on basically $73,000. But if we were to divide it on my cost basis, I'm getting a, let's see, looks like I'm getting a 16.64% on my cost basis distribution rate, which is a little higher than what their website was showing their rate is, because I got in at a lower price. I've been in it a while. But 16.64% on my cost basis. So I thought that was pretty cool. And they're showing 1431 distribution rate. And I do drip all the distributions. And then, let's see. It shows the growth of 10,000 since inception. Would have been pretty good. If you put 10,000, it looks like it's over 14,000 since it's been out. So I thought that would be interesting. And then if we go over like to stockanalysis.com and go there, and it shows that the QQQI, I put that in the ETF Comparison Tool, and the SPYI versus the SPY and the triple Qs. Well, as of the market close Friday, it looks like they're working like I would think they would. Like the SPYI is, and in 1 year is up 13.19%. And it's just a little bit lower than the underlying, which is the S&P 500, but something like SPY is kind of similar. And it's at 14.9%. in a 1 year. And the QQQI is at 19.7% in a 1 year total return. And of course, the Qs, which is very similar to the underlying, is up 1.24%. So it is a little bit lower than the underlying, but you get to take the distributions out of these. So I thought that would be kind of cool to share with everybody. Well, there's one more thing I wanted to show, and that is in the month of October in my IRA of QQQI, I received $834.70. And in my cash account in the QQQI, I received $1,015.39 for a total of $1,850 in a month on QQQI. Actually, it's $1,850.09. And then if you add my SPYI payment of $437.16, that was $2,287.25 in a month. And if you were to multiply that by 12 months, that'd be $27,447 in a year. And if you go by my original cost basis of $171,534.80, it looks like I'm getting about a 16% APR on my cost basis if these payments were to stay the same. So that's pretty good. And if you go by the rule of 72 divided by 16, it's about 4.5 years to double this money on my original cost basis. So I thought that'd be interesting to share with everybody. Well, in conclusion, I demonstrated and showed my spreadsheets on my cost basis and where I'm at right now. And I'm up in total return on QQQI and SPYI by NEOS since I've been investing in them. And I showed my what I received per month, and I showed my cost basis and where I'm at right now. And I haven't experienced any NAV erosion so far with these funds. And one of the hacks that I like to do is they say the S&P 500 is the benchmark that everybody tries to beat. Well, what I like doing with these covered call funds is I like using the ones that are NASDAQ based. And as you've seen in the chart earlier, it outperformed the S&P 500 in the last year. So that's one of the little hacks I like to do. So I still get like S&P 500 type returns, but I get the option to take the payments if necessary. But like I said, none of this is financial advice or a recommendation. Just my journey, what I'm doing. So don't do this just because I'm doing it. Do your own research. And if you all have any comments or suggestions, or if you're investing in these funds, please drop a comment in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. And if you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to the channel. And on that note, until next time, I will catch you all later.